and we're going to put a marker right here for our awesome archive team, let them know we're getting into the game. We're going to tab over to this screen, and things might look a little bit weird. And that's because this is not a typical show. This is, well, it's a couple of things. It's an Xtra with Kilio and Salcom. It is out of time with the episode that you just watched prior to this in the playlist, because this is when we could get people to do it, and also the overlay is fucked. I am not Brayden Coy, the Sneaky Boy. I am your host, the Sharp-Eyed Kitsune, and joining me tonight is Guy Gamzelis, the Bard of Heroes, and Valerian, the Kitsune, playing their respective characters, Salcom Soul Forger Andreson, and Kilio Wolfwalker of Clan Roche. In this Xtra, we hope to talk a little bit in long form about some more Goliath lore for both of these characters, both of these players who are interested in that type of thing, as well as have a conversation that is important, but we didn't want to spend all of the previous episode of Tales, or double the length of Kilio's most recent Xtra on. So we're doing this and kind of bridging both. This video will appear on both playlists, the Voices of the Mountain playlist and the Tales of the Knightlights playlist, so that you guys can have this information. As such, I will be catching up both sides of the story so that this video makes as much sense as possible. But again, it might be a little bit out of time with what you just watched, but hopefully it will be close enough that the context is relevant. So, with that in mind, let's jump in for tonight, and I don't know if the music is playing. It doesn't seem like it is. Is there a reason you're not playing music? It's because you're very quiet. That's why. So, on the one hand, we have Salcom Soul Forger, Andreson, Skald of Clan Grawl, Speaker of the Stars, in a Mordenkainen's magnificent manner. His brother is about to go under the knife to get some much-needed magical repair work done, and in taking his mind off of things, he made a scrying room in the magnificent manner to get some conversations going with some people that he feels are important, pass on some information, and get some information besides. On the other side of the world, we have Kilio Wolfwalker of Clan Roche making her way back down into the fiery pits of the Dark Forge City beneath the Clan Grawl holding of Eagle's Eyrie, wherein Kilio was separated from the rest of the group and has to rest and recover. During the night, she was visited by Jara Golden Dawn, who she is the reincarnation of and shares a soul with, sort of, but also Jara seems to think that in walking with Kilio, for want of a better word, that she is dooming Kilio to not being remembered and to cease existing much more quickly than the Goliath faith would have you believe. At the end of Kilio's conversation with Jara, the telltale mist of Salcom contacting the spirits of those long remembered began to roll in, and during our most recent episode of Tales of the Knightlights, Salcom was left to his devices in the scrying room to call upon Kilio. So, these are the moments which come together, and it is here that we pick up our story. Salcom, you find yourself in a burned out apartment building. Like, literally, it looks like a Japanese style 2-room apartment with a kitchenette that has been obliterated in flame. The main windows are gone. There's big scorched holes. All of the furniture is burned or destroyed completely. There's black stains on the floor, ceiling, and walls. And you see Kilio kind of sat on the floor, almost lotus position, across from a Goliath who you have not personally seen before. She is tall, but not necessarily tall for a Goliath. She has a what?
I was gonna say, if it's Jara, I have, because I met her with Rock after the Great Hunt.
Yes, you did. You are correct. You have seen this woman before. She has blue markings on her body. She has a full head of blonde hair, which is not common for Goliaths. She's dressed similarly but not identically to Kilio, and she's sitting in a similar posture. Kilio, as you're settling in after your conversation with Jara, this mist rolls in around you, and you see Jara kind of roll her eyes before the young Scald appears at the back of the room. You are all in a kind of grayscale, Silent Hill-ish mist world for the duration.
Okay. Fun.
Hey, Kelia.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Just, hi, Kelia. Oh, hi, Jara. I didn't know you guys could talk.
I think Jara looks at Kilio like, are you dealing with this or am I?
I think Killia, like, shrugs, and, like, turns to look at Sockham.
Wolfwalker finally listened.
Well,
Yes.
that's great. I
Can
think
we
I know
help
what
you
you
with
mean.
something?
Ooh, I mostly came to talk with Keelio.
Jara looks actually offended.
Sorry, ma'am. So I got news from Grawl.
Who's from? Okay.
They're holding Hundlestone. They're putting giants' heads on spikes. The count is 30?
30 what? 30 giants?
I couldn't tell you.
30 giants in Hundlestone. Jara looks at Kilio like, are we doing something about this?
And the bridge is repaired.
How many, like, about how many Goliaths do I remember perhaps seeing when they came to Hundlestone?
When they came to Hundlestone, 5. Bragg, Brenna, Newt, Kif. No, Kif wasn't there. Bragg, Brenna, Newt, Elu, and I don't remember the other woman. I'm sorry. The answer is 5.
I don't think we can do anything about it right this moment.
You have news from Grawl. Just Grawl in general? No names?
Kif and Newt. Kif is the one that gave me most of this information, but Newt was the one that got them to, well, sort of the one that got them to listen. Kif kept turning to Newt for confirmation that I was worth listening to.
You sound surprised.
No,
Kind
it's
of
just
how the speaker works, isn't it?
well, it's just interesting to see that at work because I don't know much about speakers and Primarchs and how they interact. You gotta remember, I'm looking at a lot of this from the outside because I'm not clan born. You know what I'm saying?
Kif was there.
Yeah.
That's good. I didn't see him at Hundlestone, did you?
Did I? Wait.
No.
No, I didn't.
No.
No, I didn't. So their numbers have grown.
Well, if the bridge is repaired, it makes sense.
They're gonna be holding Hundlestone.
Not that I don't appreciate a good hair-born messenger, but is that really all you wanted?
No, that was just the pleasantries.
You come and tell us
This
that
can
30
only go
giants
well.
have attacked Hundlestone, and that's the pleasantries. You'll go Grawl every day.
I don't know whether to deeply appreciate that or to be insulted. I'll go with both.
Let's just say, and she looks at Kilio pointedly, I see so much of Eric in you.
Yeah, by the way, Eric was in Golden Fields for a little while. I accidentally let the person he was with die, so he's kind of pissed at me.
Yeah, which facilitated him being here at the area for Kilio, so that worked.
Oh, so it all worked out. Cool.
Sort of.
Sorta.
I mean, you let someone die, but...
Yeah, no, it was a small-scale war. I would have done better if I could have.
Secondary question, what is a Golden Fields?
Golden Fields, they're a giant farm city. Supplies a lot of food to the Sword Coast at large.
Looking at Kilio, what is a Sword Coast?
Cleo shrugs.
Both of them look at Sockham.
No, hang on. I need just a moment.
Okay. Go ahead, Sock.
The edge of the coastline looks like a sword, so people call it a sword coast.
How does a coastline look like a... Is it made of metal?
No, it's like shaped kind of like a blade. There's a part down to the south that sticks out further than the rest, so it kind of looks like a handle, or a guard, rather.
How does land look like a blade? It's never perfectly straight.
Well, no. But I mean, if you look at a sword that's been tested by several fights, neither are they.
You mean broken?
You say broken, I say well worn.
And I say a target to aim for. Pleasantries aside, 30 Giants, why are you here?
Right, I needed some information, if you'd please. Pulls out.
Again, pointedly looks at Kilio. Shows up, tells us that the Giants are amassing an army, and then immediately asks for a favor. You're right, he is Eric.
Yep.
I don't think I can be Eric if I've met Eric. Well, hold on. He's like looking at the two of them now. No, I can't be Eric. I have a hard time with women.
And you'd probably kill her, anyway.
Fortunately...
I don't know how to respond to that.
Okay, hang on. Well, I don't think I'm gonna make the same mistakes as you, Jar. We aren't exactly one and the same.
You're right, and that's a good thing. Are we going to entertain him, or... I can send him away.
Sorry.
I mean, he's probably got something he wants to ask, but just won't spit it out.
I'm still, jarred by Jara being here and you being here.
Haven't you talked to both of us already?
Yes,
And
but both of you at once
us.
is weird. Anyway. It's recently started coming to my attention that I think I'm lacking some spirits in my knowledge set.
How many do you know?
I know raven, wolf, eagle, salmon, beaver, crab.
If you can list them, you're certainly missing some.
Agreed.
Oh. Okay. Am I missing any big names?
You were talking about spirits.
Yeah. I assume there's a lot.
There aren't any small ones.
Fox, cragcats.
Badger.
He's grabbing his book and he's immediately writing.
Yeah, right in this, remember?
I know. No, nothing comes from the pencil. Right.
Sit down.
Yes, ma'am. Are there chairs in here?
No, Kilio was sitting on the floor in the real world and in this world.
No, also, if you can see this room, I'm here and then I'm also laying on the floor over there.
He can't see that.
Okay, he can't see that? Okay.
No. He can't see Corpse Leo.
Corpse Leo.
In that case, Sockham looks around. No chair. Just lock legs, lean back, thwop.
Okay. That looked painful. Do I need to teach you how to fall?
He's Eric. He's fine.
You get used to it.
Looking at Kilio. Eric has a hard head and a flat bottom. That would have hurt.
I don't got a flat bottom.
Do Kilio and Jara both lean to the side to check? I know Jara does for sure.
I mean, I don't think Kilio like would object to doing so. So I think she does. Like, just kind of like confused head tilt.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a look.
Exactly.
I don't miss leg day.
The belt of giant strength probably helps.
Yep.
Cheetah.
Recently broke it. Had to replace the potion inside.
Potion? What?
Yeah, it's not really a potion of giant strength. It's a potion of, or it's a belt of potion permanency. But there was a stone giant strength potion lodged inside, so it was a belt of stone giant strength.
Is he making sense to you?
No, he's not.
One of my brothers is a wizard, so I end up sounding like
that
a wizard a lot.
explains it.
Yep.
You're a skald who knows a wizard.
Yep.
And you're surprised at seeing both of us.
At the same time.
Jara does the Lin Beifong what the fuck hand motion.
I just have to sock him.
Yeah.
We don't look alike. How did you think we were the same exact person the entire time?
In fairness,
No.
Kilio, you did.
I mean, you are correct. But he's a fucking skald.
Who apparently lives in a coast made of swords.
That you probably don't go fishing a lot often there.
I mean, you can. You just gotta find a pond. Or, go to the sea. But apparently dragons live in the sea, so I'm not too keen on fishing there.
Dragons live everywhere.
I have a couple friends who are dragons. I met one in the sea. Sorry, I ramble when I'm nervous. Anyway, hare, fox, cragcat.
Don't bother listing them. There's spirits everywhere. That's the point. Not every spirit appears to every person. Not even a skald. Not every... It's so... I'm not used to not saying kin, but I don't know if he knows that word.
Of course I know kin.
Alright. Not every spirit appears to every kin. It's not something that you write down and memorize.
Maybe not traditionally, but it's another way to perpetuate memory.
But invariably the list will be incomplete, and thus you will begin to rely on the list and not use your eyes.
The book is where I keep my notes. This is the concrete memory. I keep track of everything else in my head.
You write it down, and the voice behind it is lost.
Others see only the words.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you said that there was a book about me.
Yeah.
A book?
A couple, I think, but the
How long
river
did it take
running
you to
was...
read them?
River running took me a couple days, but I may or may not have slept.
I lived several winters.
A book
I
will not
wager-
tell you.
Good.
A book will not tell you everything there is to know about wolf. A book will not tell you everything there is to know about eagle.
Oh, no, never.
Kilio is not in the book.
Helio's too new to be in the book.
Is that not my point?
Yeah, I guess I see it.
Humans, soft folk in general, really, have this habit of repetition. You perform a specific ritual on a specific day, a specific way, and this is supposed to please the spirits somehow? All they're doing is following a recipe. They're making a cake. No offense to your armor, Kilio.
You talk about a birthday?
No.
What?
I'm talking.
That sounds. Sure, go ahead.
Talking about rituals, festivals.
Oh yeah, like Fae Day.
Yes. Don't you think the spirits that are supposed to be honored by these things are bored? Oh, look, they're wearing the outfit again. Like, she rolls her eyes.
Okay, I see your point.
They don't listen.
They do the same thing over and over because they think that'll do the job every time. But taste changes.
How much have they forgotten? Focusing on what was written down.
Mm-hmm.
It is true that we can tell you about spirits, yes. But we cannot tell you everything. There is no everything. You will never have a complete list.
I think he's just like silently nodding, looking at his book. Does that little like one-handed close and slots it back in place?
We can tell you as much about Wolf to be enough to equate listing off a bunch of spirits. And that will still not be everything. Bear's breath, some of the stories even contradict each other. Because we are people.
I apologize. I suppose I've been treating your memory like books.
Which is precisely why you're surprised to see me. Balgruf is Torvald, not because he's a carbon copy of Torvald, stepping where Torvald stepped, but because he embodies what Torvald is. But he's still a person. Torvald and Balgruf. Beat of silence. You have no idea who Balgruf is, do you?
Balgruf is... he's either the champion or the Primarch of... oh fuck, what was the Crafter Guild or
Bryn.
clan?
Bryn.
He's either the champion or Primarch or both of Bryn, right?
Yes and no.
That's only part of it.
Balgruf is the 11th Ironclad.
Wow.
Yeah, precisely. Wow. There is more to these people, more to their memory, than their legend. If you are only remembered for one thing, then that one thing is all your memory is. Yes, I am Jara, and led our kin to the mountains. Is that all that I did?
No. No,
Certainly, I wouldn't want to be remembered just for that. I wouldn't be able to have this conversation with you. It is good that you spoke to Trin. But it's been so long that that is all that Trin is anymore. Reliving the fire, that's all. Is it better to be forgotten? No. But you cannot say that she has not fallen far.
I don't think Kilio knows who Trin is.
Mm-mm. But Jaro, talked to Eric or Snorri when Salt did this, so.
There's a lot I have to do, apparently.
Nevertheless, we can tell you of the spirits. And I can even share some legends with you.
I would appreciate that.
For many spirits, they are linked to another. Sometimes they stand opposed. Sometimes they stand beside one another. Sometimes they share territory. When you think of the great hunters, the leaders, the noble forces one should aspire to be, you think of standing higher, being the first one forward. Yes?
Yeah.
Likely wolf and eagle. Would this be incorrect to say?
No, makes sense.
Who does wolf chase?
Elk, small animals like rabbits, deers,
Yeah.
Squirrels.
And yet we just established that wolf comes first. How can wolf come first if he's chasing something? What of eagle? Does eagle come first? No. The hunter comes behind. Does that make them less important? To understand this is to understand the legend of Hare. Hare keeps us together. Makes certain that words flow from one clan to another. Makes certain that we are aware of what is ahead on the path, so that the hunters can come behind. And to understand Hare is to understand Tosk. Is that old name you know?
No, it's not.
Tosk Sherfoot. He was the little one before you, Kilio. Little
I
brother.
was not aware there was more little ones.
Not little like you, but little. He was... She chuckles, kind of looks wistfully off to the side. Always around. Like to pop out of snowbakes and ask a million questions about whatever you were doing. He was everywhere. Always smiling. Great Mother Gola loved him. We all did, to a point. But he had that way about him. You know what I mean. When you just want to get the arrows tied, or get the deer skinned, and you don't... Huh?
I'm sorry, I thought I was on push stop. What the hell?
You did not.
I got yelled that dinner was ready.
And you just...
Oops.
You don't want to answer a million questions, you just want to get it done, right?
Right.
Well, that's Tosk, after a fashion. He's always had something to say, or always had something that he wanted to know. He was kind of everywhere. Boundless energy. And one day there was a mood. We were meeting at Bear's Heart, actually. And Tosk was there, everywhere, running from camp to stall, asking his questions, telling his stories. And then he was gone. We didn't notice at first, except that it was quiet. But then, notice became curiosity. And curiosity became concern. And concern turned to fear. The sun was setting, and no one had seen Tosk. We were all there. The Primarchs were meeting. And Tosk was just gone. So, naturally, we started looking, calling his name throughout the valley, leaving the valley, down to the Russian River, towards the Salt Folk settlements, trying to find our little brother. Tosk was never much of a fighter, and if he was alone on the trailhead somewhere, and it was dark, well, I'm sure even your Sword Coast has its dangers at night,
Oh, yeah.
We were worried. Well, shortly before sunset, Tosk turned up, in the middle of the camp, with the searchers still spread far and wide throughout the valley. And he wasn't smiling. Tosk was always smiling. Something was wrong. He interrupted the Primarchs, and he told them that orcs were coming. There was consternation, obviously. There were people who didn't believe him. But of course, he had Great Mother Golda's ear, and he wasn't smiling. He said orcs were coming, so Great Mother Golda began the defenses, told the healers to get ready, called the hunters and warriors together. And then we realized...
If there was...
The searchers, yes. We realized the searchers weren't there. Eric and some of the other Primarchs, she pointedly looks away from you, were ready to mount a defense, but, well, we needed our kin back, so I set off to get them. I'm fleet, and I had Gar with me. Little did I know that I had Tosk behind me. Have you noticed what happens when there's a lot of building and drinking and fighting among kin? Surely you've noticed it yourself.
Discourse, mostly.
Heat is what I'm referring to.
Oh, yeah.
We produce a lot of heat. That, combined with the bonfires, had melted some of the snow on the top of the ground, and the way out of the valley was blocked. I couldn't get through. I was too large. Gar certainly couldn't. We had to take the long way round, but that would have taken hours. The orcs were going to be on us at nightfall. Tosk ran ahead, over the snowbank, nearly breaking his ankles half a dozen times before I lost sight of him. But he made it through. Not only did he make it through, he made it all the way to the rushing river. He got them all back. And we were able to put a stop to those orcs. Admittedly, Kilio, Tosk is one of the reasons that I didn't look away from you.
Because you've been pressed by small folk, literal small folk before.
And they were right. Not only were they right, they saved us.
So, Hare is the front runner.
Indeed. The messenger, the scout, the explorer, the curious, and the fleet. Do you know if... Go on.
No, it's just... Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you know a badger?
The animal? Yeah.
The spirit.
I don't know much about them. I just know that badgers like to dig.
Yes, you're quite right. They dig warrens, and then they stay in them throughout the winter, which is the majority of the time. Have you never been curious what goes on in there?
A little bit.
I've heard the humans say that they have little cottages in there, with gardens and all kinds of other things. Rather silly, though I will admit, the idea of a badger in a little tweed jacket is rather adorable.
I can certainly agree with that.
Badgers are hardworking, persistent, some would say stubborn. And what they do in their seclusion is out of sight of eagle and owl and wolf. So badger represents inventiveness, curiosity in oneself, and controlling the world around them.
Like Angorm does. In a way.
Precisely. Thinking about Badger, I can't help but remember Old Yorn. It's not a name you probably know, Wolfwalker.
No, it's not.
Old Yorn Goldeneye. He's... He's a character. He had a nose for gold, unlike anything I've ever seen. He lived alone in one place his whole life, but he always came to town when there was a merchant with metal, gold, copper, silver. He always knew, and he was always there.
Better nose than the dwarves, then.
Some say he was a dwarf, or that he walked with one the way I walk with you. But his lodge, gods. It was made of metal, for one.
Metal lodge?
Gleaming in the sun, glowing in the snow.
Yeah, like a vault.
A what?
Like Whip Ironbottom's house. She says it with spite.
The humans, they got a concept for something they call a vault. Maybe it's something they yoinked off the dwarves, I don't know, but it's these big metal boxes.
Most certainly.
There's a big metal box with a metal door and some kind of contraption to open them up.
Didn't you hide in one of those recently, Kilio?
Yes, actually.
Yes. Imagine someone living in one of those.
Yikes. Oh, I met someone that did that.
But that's not the end of it.
Hmm?
Old Yorn, he kept lightning in a jar, and he used it to see in the dark. He had a forge that ate earth and produced ice.
What?
What?
That sounds like some... That sounds like some wacky alchemy type stuff.
Hmm.
What kind of wizard was this guy?
I don't know. No one could ever get inside his homestead. And when he passed, well, let's just say the kin tried a bit more vigorously to see what secrets old Yorn had. And they couldn't get inside. His homestead is still there. As far as I know, no one's ever... Well, no, that's not quite right.
I bet Sigrid would have had a field day with that place.
Sigrid got inside. I know because I saw her leave.
Oh.
She wouldn't tell me what she found. She didn't talk about it at all, really.
Hmm.
And Sigrid... You don't press Sigrid. She's as strong as Torvald, but she'll never admit it.
I could tell you that for sure.
I think
She recreated spears that came from another plane.
she did what?
Glances at Kilio. White spears?
I think so, yeah. Got some crazy magic on them. Made to kill draconians.
White spears with strange runes. They look like a wind could snap them in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have one.
We have two.
We have two.
You have two?
One's broken.
There's only supposed to be 4.
This one, okay, so the vault we found the other one in was weird. Had things that shouldn't exist.
Uh-huh.
What did the wizard say?
Something about another place, not just a plane.
A sphere.
Sure.
The way I can understand it is there's the planes, and then there's the spheres, which are places that have planes of their own. Doesn't make a damn lick of sense to me, but...
Yes, your guess is a lot better than mine.
We found a box with items, with stories that, well, I'd never heard of.
Huh.
There was
Some worn chainmail,
a shield, a hammer,
a staff with like a slingshot on the end of it.
and the spear.
That's wild.
We took them. I think. The bear
Yeah.
has them, right?
Yes, Lash is wearing the mail.
I would love to get my hands on that stuff, find out what their tale is.
Unfortunately, we're quite far from your coast of swords.
Yeah, you
inside
guys are way north.
Inside a cage. We're calling it a cage, right, Kilio?
Yes, a cage. A cage, and we're also under a mountain.
That's on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not super descriptive for being in the north.
To be fair, we didn't know this mountain was on fire beforehand. Well, I didn't. Did you?
No.
It's kind of hard to not be able. What mountain are you in?
Eagle's Area.
Oh! Wait, you found all that shit in the Airy?
No.
Well, under the area.
Under the area.
Under the air. What?
Beneath the machines. Weren't you listening?
Machines? You didn't say anything about machines.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned the machines.
I'm pretty sure you did too. I'm still not sure what a machine is, but
Oh. From what little I know, machines are kind of, Gon's
moves.
shtick.
Metal
Who?
devices.
Gond, he's like the inventor guy of divinity.
Yeah.
Oh, John would have liked him.
Probably. One of my brothers was chosen by Gond, so now he comes up with an idea, and if Gond likes it, he finds a way to make it work.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, he made my brother a moving ballista. He's got like a handheld frickin' ballista. It's so cool. It's so cool.
2 questions.
Yeah.
What is a ballista?
You know what crossbow is?
Yes, a coward's weapon.
Imagine a crossbow made for hunting castles.
You don't hunt buildings.
No, but it's a really good description, honestly.
Why would
Don't
someone
move.
make a crossbow for hunting stones exist?
Oh, it's like to knock the building down to get at the people inside. You could shoot one of these things at a dragon and it'd rip a hole through its wing. A hole as big as me, probably.
Kilio, we need to get a ballista.
Oh, I think that we might be able to ask the dwarf how to get a ballista. They might know.
Something to rip a hole in a dragon, that sounds useful.
It really does. We've got a dragon problem on our hands right now.
It would have helped Runyak.
Yeah,
Who's-
Runyak.
Who's Runyak?
Ah,
Well, I know who Runyak is,
How do you
sort
know
of.
who Runyak is?
Kelio said his name once, kind of in passing.
Runyak. It's weird. Runyak.
You're speaking in wuzzes, and I'm kind of
Stop.
curious.
It wasn't your fault, Kilio.
Panic.
I mean, mostly not your fault, anyway.
Runyak. He gave that draconian as good as he got. Tackled it.
He touched a draconian?
Was there a barrier when Runyak tackled him?
Yeah, there was a barrier.
There was a barrier, but he tackled him and took both of them into the sea. Saved both me and Irithyr.
Irithyr is the wizard, right?
Yes.
Kilio and Jara both go, the elf.
The elf. Yeah, you're right.
Gotcha.
One second.
He saved us both.
Sorry, I'm back.
So, did he kill it?
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, I asked, did he kill it?
I don't think either of them know. The thing is, there were... Monsters in the water, and no, I don't have a better word than that. Do you, Tilio? Valerian?
Now,
Is Valerian also away?
push to taco.
Puerto Taco?
Oh God, he's abandoned us for a sandwich.
I mean, hey, sandwiches are great.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I-
That joke is one
Sorry
that's
about that.
never gonna die.
No problem.
I'm back,
Did you
sorry.
have your ears on?
Not after you got back with the puppy.
Okay. Salk asked if Runyak killed the Draconian, and Jara said, I don't know. There were monsters in the water, and no, I don't have a better word for that. Do you, Kelio?
A better word? No.
We did
They
get
were-
told them.
They were like, no, I do have a better word. The elf called them... I don't know where the elf heard it, but the Rhymeborn.
Before you ask, I don't know what they are. The beasts of the land, I understand. These were unnatural.
Rhyme-born monsters made of ice?
Corpses made of ice.
Fucking ew, ice zombies.
I don't know what a zombie is, but yes.
It's a human term.
Humans have the weirdest words.
Ghost
do.
of Swords.
They do.
Yeah.
I use so many of them because I was raised here, so it's just what makes most sense to me, you
Who
know?
named a ghost after a sword?
I don't know.
That seems so wrong.
Oh, hey, by the way, I'm building a lawsuit against Volo. You want in on that?
Who?
What is Volo?
He's the guy that made the map of the North.
There's a map of the North?
Yeah, and it excludes everything above the mountains.
Well, of course it
Yeah,
does.
Beyond the mountains. Sorry.
course. it does.
My other question is, what's a lawsuit?
So he's made a lot of money and fame off of his maps, and he's
You
kind
just
of
said he didn't have a map.
right. The maps he did make.
So you're angry with him for not making a map?
I'm angry at him for ignoring the North, like the 10 towns and where, most of the clans live.
I don't think we want someone like that mapping our mountains anyway.
No, agreed. And also,
yeah, 'cause he's
the
got no
clans
work
move
ethic.
around.
Yeah, any map they make will change from season to season.
It would still do some good for the 10 towns to be recognized.
Keep in mind that when I was able to move freely, the 10 towns were barely a thing. But I got this distinct impression that they don't want to be recognized.
They're also not that far apart.
They're really not. They're visible.
Hmm.
It's more like one big town than a brisk jog between buildings.
Why would they call it the 10 towns then?
Humans.
Boy, they are weird. I tell you though, back home there was this old lady. Her name was Mrs. Greywater. She made blackberry pie that I swear it gave you the power to fly. just smelling it. I didn't literally, of course, but...
I mean,
Oh,
now he
God.
reminds me of Tor.
Right? Though
Listen,
the markings are all wrong. He's not Clan Roche.
No.
if I make it back to Amberridge at some point, Miss Greywater's still around, I'll try to bring you a pie. Might get a little cold, though.
How are you going to... Never mind. The point is, we have 2 of your spears.
Yeah, that's wild. We've been trying to find more so we can fight the Draconians, but
Was...
there's
Sorry, go
supposed to be one in the city sister of the city that fell.
That doesn't narrow things down.
It does for us down here. There's a lot that's been happening south.
Alright.
The Underdark.
Yeah, that could be anywhere then.
If you're going to the
person-
Creeping Dark, be careful.
You ain't gotta tell me twice. Already dealt with some real crap down there. We weren't even there for very long.
The paths change.
I've heard that.
There's no guarantee that you'll find the same way out.
Or any way out.
We've got a thing that can help us mark our path.
That doesn't mean it will be there.
No, but we'll figure something out.
I have been to the Creeping Dark twice. The first time, I had someone with me. The second time, I went alone. And it was that time that I learned what I'm going to tell you now. The changing paths are equally the most and least dangerous thing in the Creeping Dark. You need a light source that only you can see. Ghost light, it's called. And if you need to ensure the way out, you need silver tears. They come from spiders.
What are they, like eyes?
I don't know what they are.
How do you get them off a spider?
You don't get them off of spiders, they come from spiders. You get them off of... elves.
Yeah, hold on. You're gonna have to explain that one a little more. You want me to feed
Elves of the Creeping Dark.
elves of the creeping dog? The drow?
I don't know.
Purple?
Yes,
Yeah, those are drow.
they have them.
Wait. Silver tears that come from spiders. You get them from drow.
Yes.
Does that have some connection to Lolth? Christ.
What is a
Er,
What is Christ?
hey, that's such a natural reaction for me. I don't.
I've quit calling it out because it's so likened to like just talking for Delta, for example, that I don't even mention it anymore.
I gotta work that out of my Sockham vocabulary.
And Dawn.
And Dawn.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. I don't know what a loaf is. So
It's
maybe
the Spider Queen.
the spiders have a queen? The spiders have a monarchy?
Goddess of spiders and evil.
Can they be a
bullshit.
goddess and a queen? That seems like putting all your
Self-import-
eggs in one.
So, I'd
Do you-
call it.
What's the Goliath way of saying putting all your eggs in one basket?
I'd call it an overindulgence
Um,
in self-importance.
Putting all your eggs in one basket, the Goliath version would be like culling too much of the herd.
That sounds like culling too much of the herd.
Serious question, why are so many Goliath analogies just murder or death?
Because they're hunters. They're hunter-gatherers. They're nomads, so by definition, they're hunter-gatherers. Hunting is a huge part of what they do.
Fair. Yeah.
Especially Clan Roche.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm talking to 2 Roche members.
Yeah. You're talking to she who made Roche.
Twice.
Yeah. It's not so much. I mean, it is murder, but it's not so much murder. It's just hunting analogies, because without hunting, Goliaths die. They don't farm.
Yeah, it's dumb. I made contact once, and that's actually why all of this Scald stuff started.
So, the Creeping Dock has a spirit of spider?
More like an actual god that wants to feast on the souls of the living.
Charming.
Yeah.
Have fun with that, Sockum.
I have another warning. As timely as the other one.
Okay.
The air in the Creeping Dock is still. Sometimes it is safe, sometimes it is not. A breeze is always bad, but if... There's no easy way to say this. If you see lights in the air, small fairies, basically, you're going to die.
Oh. I remember Lash mentioning that.
Lovely.
Not you're in danger. Not you need to be careful.
Sounds like it's already too late.
Correct.
Little mites in the air. What, like spores? Like mushrooms? Or like actual fairies? Bugs?
I never got close enough to find out.
Yeah, you know, that's probably... That's fair.
Advisable that you don't get close enough to find out. Though... You won't know until it's too late.
We should figure out how to get the spear to Sokol.
That's something I wanted to work on. Is Runyak the only person you know of having brought down a Draconian?
I don't know what a Draconian is.
Snorri described them as dire kobolds.
I am...
They're that thing that attacked us on the boat.
Yeah.
I haven't told Kelio about that yet.
What?
Oh.
What? The Draconians?
I wasn't going to, actually.
If she's already run into them, then what's the point?
She doesn't know about Bear's Heart?
Oh, yeah, maybe let's not get into that.
What's happened to Bear's Heart?
Not something you should get into while you're underneath a mountain.
Trapped in a cage?
But I gather it's not good.
No. No, it is bad.
It,
I don't even know the full story, and I know it's real fucking bad.
I do. But that may be a conversation for later. What you need to know is if Sockham doesn't have a spear, which I assume you don't have.
We had a knife that would do the job too, but apparently these things will explode into acid and stuff when they die, so we don't have that knife anymore.
Good to know.
The broken spear, Helio.
It's broken. Fuck.
As I said, we have two. The broken one was recovered from...
Was that... I do remember on the... What was the name of the ship? The iceberg ship.
The Bounty of the Deep.
Bounty of the Deep.
I do remember on the Bounty of the Deep, there was...
Speak up a little, you're muffled for some reason.
Oh, sorry.
Spin your mic or something?
I've spun it a little bit?
There you go.
Okay. I do remember on the Bounty of the Deep, there was the Goliath who was petrified. He had carried it from Bear's Heart to there, looking for help.
Kin don't run, Kilio.
Ah.
There's talk about this time in Valorholm. That has been for quite some time.
Time is weird for you.
A bit. Seeing the lodges being constructed, sitting empty for an eternity. And then all at once there's not enough space.
Just getting flooded with people.
And what happens when there's no one left to remember them? I don't like thinking about that. But if Sockham doesn't have a spear, I'm going to have to.
He needs one. The only issue is this damned cage.
I'm not even certain that Oreth is fast enough.
Plus,
No.
there's the bubble.
The cage.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you meant you were in a cage under the mountain,
We are.
inside the bubble.
We are.
That's really awful.
There's also fire giants, but
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
And it's nothing compared to what's going to happen.
Hill giants, fire giants, frost giants. God, now next we're gonna have flying giants. I've met a flying giant.
at least take its head.
What? No, he was a friend.
What do you mean he was a friend?
He wanted me and my family to succeed in helping bring an end to this war.
Huh.
He said he had orders from a power on high. Power yon high.
Technically, Kilio, we know that not all orcs are bad.
Yeah, this is true.
You're more trusting than we are.
I'm just as ready to bring someone down. The way I see it, I want to give someone the chance to be a friend before I see them as a foe.
Fire giants are all but impervious in their armor. They have... How do I explain this? They have chimneys in their armor to let the heat out. You have to stop them up, and then they don't have a choice but to take the armor off.
Sounds pretty easy.
No, it's not. Frost giants at least wear open helmets, usually.
I've had good luck with that.
So, shall we continue the lesson on spirits?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's... there's a lot going on.
You just finished talking about
Badger, Old
Badger. Introspection and invention.
There's one that we won't see for a while. Unless things get a lot better. Are you at all familiar with deer?
Oh yeah.
You know, they're skittish creatures.
Real fickle.
It takes a lot for one to grow large, and a lot still for it to have impressive horns. There's a word for it. I believe you would say stag? She says it in giant for your sake, Helio.
Oh yeah. Big deer with lots of horn points.
They're hard to find. Everything...
Prized by hunters.
And everything has to be exactly right to produce them. Enough food, not too many predators, places of safety, as well as feelings of comfort and home.
Home.
This is what the spirit represents. It's prosperity. But equally, have you ever heard such a creature be referred to as the Lord of the Forest or something similar?
Yeah.
There's a nobility to it. There's a... strength. A stag is never going to defeat a bear. But among its people, it is the biggest and the strongest. It leads the herd. And it shows that the forest and the world around it is doing well. This is what the spirit represents. I heard a word some time ago that I've always found amusing, and I think it fits. Stag is the kingmaker.
Interesting.
What about... Are you familiar with a rather flighty predator? The crag cat.
I've heard of it before.
Gileo?
Yes, I've seen several. They're not as numerous as others, but they
No.
don't group together.
There is a spirit of the Crag Cat. There is an understanding of self-reliance, of personal victory, of strength, of striking out on your own and staying there. Not for glory, but through either necessity or desire. It's not about pride or vanity. You don't invoke Cragcat around the mead hall, boast yourself larger. You simply do. Confidence is often the most quiet.
You let your actions declare such a connection.
But it still takes an exceptional individual. And, for that matter, it's put aside for family. Cragcats come together to mate and raise cubs. They have to. And thus the spirit teaches us that kin, clan, and family are the most important. And there is a legend. An impressive legend. I doubt you will have heard this one, Kilio. Oh dear of the
Yes.
Iron Claws.
No, I cannot say I have heard that one.
Even the name structure is a little bit different than usual.
Indeed. Oh dear was a fighter, a warrior, which is not a word often said amongst kin. He was a protector, loved by everyone, but peerless. If there was a threat, Odir was there, striking it down and returning back from whence he came. If Sigrid forges the tools of 1,000 legends, Odir is the hero of 100.
Wow.
Indeed. He lived by himself in a hidden valley that even I couldn't tell you where it is. He walked with the spirits in a very particular way, a literal way. He would call upon Mother Bear, and Mother Bear would appear, fighting beside him. Not an avatar, not a spirit, Mother Bear.
He did the active version of what I do.
Indeed.
Not the memory, but the presence. That's fucking scary.
He was... I don't know what you would call him. He fought with his hands, and his feet, and his head.
His whole body was a weapon.
Indeed.
He was a monk.
If you say so.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, if you say so.
A martial artist.
I think I saw Firga fight one of those.
Artist is a good word.
Martial is referring to the body. They wield the art of the physical form.
Odir lived a long time. Far longer than a warrior should. And I mean no offense to either of you.
Oh, of course
But
not.
the nature of being a warrior, you don't live to your twilight. To the end of your song.
He
But
did.
Odir did. And by all accounts, he was as powerful, if not more powerful, than he was in his youth. And one day he called, well, a moot, but not a typical moot. The moot came later. That was Eric's idea. Are you familiar with the Ring of Valor?
Sounds... No, not really, but it sounds like a...
There's an
fighting.
arena, and you fight to prove yourself in the arena.
It's like a tournament.
What?
People going head-to-head in fights over and over. One
Yes.
person fighting another until there's only one left to fight the champion.
And you called it a ornament?
Yeah, tournament.
Tournament. Odia called a tournament to all the clans, and the challenge was simple. Take Odia's feet out from under him. Do this, he said, and he would be the champion of that clan for the rest of his days.
Fucking wow.
Naturally, we all went, all of us.
If I had to hazard a guess, no one could do it.
It came down to Torvald and Sigrid, with Torvald proving the victor, and having the honor of facing Odia. Torvald the Ironclad is a warrior in his own right.
It's an absolute beast from what little I know.
Clad in steel, and Odia was using his fist. I didn't see what happened. I only heard about it. But to hear the tale, Odir called on all the spirits. Bear and wolf, crab, badger, owl. Even spirits that we'd never heard of. Turtle, goat, a few others. Torvald withstood everything. Even took Odia to the edge of the ring. But when Odia called on Eagle, Eagle appeared with the sun on its feathers and blinded everyone watching the fight. There was a fireball. And then, when the light faded, Torvald was on his back, and Odia walked into the mountains carrying Eagle, and no one ever saw him again.
Hey, hearing that description, Sokkum is quiet for a good long while.
Mm-hmm. You'll know him, or those like him, by the 8 barbed rings that he holds. Hence the iron claws.
Right.
Is something the matter?
It's hard
Well-
to explain.
Go ahead, Pierce.
You're a lot more quieter than you usually are. A
If
lot
I'm
quieter.
totally honest, I don't think you'd believe me.
I think Killio glances at Jara.
I think Jara's giving you a nod, like, he's got a point. You
More
wouldn't be the
than
first for
usual.
all to give into fancy.
This wouldn't be me talking fancy, just what I've experienced.
That's whatever girl says, but continue.
Unclips the totem, sets it down.
It's a bird.
Well made.
I'm
Did
at
you
a
make that?
no, certainly not. I met a farseer.
Turning to Kilio, Jara says, an orcish shaman. A speaker.
Ah, I see.
He was he's one of my brother's fathers. I have a brother. His name is Bruce. He's an orc. Never knew his dad. And we found him recently, and he was doing carvings to try and keep his focus.
To stay unbroken.
Yeah. He was up there in his winters, so it was you could tell it was kind of a struggle.
Orcs don't live very long. Usually only 40 winters.
Bruce is getting near 20, then you know.
Not much longer.
Point is, he said that I smelled like this bird. He couldn't see it on me. He was blind, right?
Yes.
He was blind.
Well, he
so
wasn't.
he couldn't...
You don't know if he was blind. His eyes were covered.
Right. He was blind. Well, I'm gonna say he was blind. He had a cloth over his eyes. He said...
He was fighting the Will of Grumsh.
Yeah. And
It is
he
not
made...
unheard of for an orc to take their eyes to keep the scarred one from being able to see them.
Hmm. He made me this, saying he could smell the connection.
Orcs have impressive senses of smell.
And they do.
The thing about that...
Killia's like gonna take a closer look at the totem, I guess.
Yeah. I was doing my damnedest not to make you roll as Kilio for this.
Okay.
Do you happen to know what your nature bonus is?
My int is +2, and I'm not proficient.
What's your nature bonus? 4? Well, it wouldn't matter.
I'm not proficient,
Yeah,
so it's
so
+2 to roll.
Yeah, roll a 1d20 +2. That's a good roll.
That's a good roll.
That's a good roll. It's not like any bird you've seen before. It's definitely a predator.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely related to like the big, like, not all big predatory bird is an eagle, but most of them are.
Yeah.
Like an osprey is an eagle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks a little bit like an eagle, but it's not an eagle you've ever seen before.
This is a weird-looking eagle.
It's because it's not an eagle. That's, how would you guys know it? It's a sunbird.
Do I know what a sunbird is?
You do. Unfortunately, Salcom said the wrong thing. A sunbird is a, like, fruit and seed-eating bird that is basically a red peacock.
Oh, fuck.
No. You don't know that.
Oh.
But
Okay.
Kilio does.
No, that's all wrong. A sunbird's not a predator at all. This bird has the makings of a predator, like eagle. A sunbird's beak is all different.
It's a phoenix.
So,
Do I know it? That one is.
Jara looks at Kilio and she says, "It's a firebird."
Yeah. Sorry,
Do I know what a firebird is in that context? The
Yeah.
answer is probably no,
No,
but
no, well, I mean, you do. It's just. Firebird is said in the same sentence as dragon, and dragons are more common. Like, it. You know that trope that's come up several times in DA of frost giants don't gather, right?
yeah.
Firebirds don't exist anymore. They did, then they died. They're gone. It's like Santa. It's not like Santa Claus. It's like Saint Nicholas, right? Like Saint Nicholas was a dude,
What's a guy?
and then there was this huge legend that came up and still persists. Like Firebirds were a thing, but they're gone now, and they were rare to begin with.
I don't think anyone I've ever met has seen one of these. Unless you have, Jara, but that was a long time ago.
I have, but not in the mountains.
See, for a few weeks now, I keep having to say this as context. I'm sorry if it sounds rehearsed, it kind of is. For a few weeks, whenever I use my abilities to call out, I hear that bird. Sometimes it's the bird, sometimes it sounds like someone who's lost.
Then find them.
That's the thing. It's that brief interlude when I'm just passing through the mist. If I listened real close, staring out into the mist around us, I can almost hear it, but that's complicated.
Jara like looks around and sniffs the air a few times, then gives Kilio kind of a helpless look. It's beyond me, Scald.
I don't think what Oh Dear called on was an eagle facing the sun.
You think it was a firebird?
Aye. Maybe the very same I hear now.
Then, like, she looks at Jara.
Mm-hmm.
Looks back at Sockham. Maybe you could try calling Oh Dear like you called us.
Maybe. I've
Don't know if he'll answer.
got a plan to try contacting Phoenix after another couple of calls.
That could work. No other spirits, then?
What did you tell me about? It was hare, badger, cragcat, stag.
You're still listing them.
Well, I'm listing the ones you just told me. Oh, another couple you mentioned earlier, fox and beaver?
Mm-hmm. They're somewhat less impressive, but I have a particular affinity for fox, hilariously enough. Fox is the helper. Fox is there to lead you out of the rock slide, or the cave, to help you across the river, to help you find the kin again. It teaches you to be perceptive and to think on your feet, to try what needs to be tried. Looking at Kilio. To be courageous,
Kilio nods.
also to make certain that you're not ruling out anything that could be of use. Fox is the problem solver, but not through strength like Bear.
Cunning.
Indeed.
Through cunning.
Clever like a fox.
Kilio has an affinity for it.
I think she nods.
But don't make the mistake of saying that Fox is a little wolf. It's not.
No, they're different. Wolf wouldn't have bridged a ravine with rope and bits of metal.
Fox Fox shows us there's always a way out. Wolf shows us that we can only get there together.
See. The workings of the spirits really is a mirror of the ecosystem.
A what?
A what?
It's a mirror of how things work in nature.
Is that another word your wizard taught you?
So
No.
So Kelio,
Yes.
what Sokam just said was like, it's a mirror of how things work in nature. Is like, to any Goliath born among the clans, what he just said was, so it's like how water makes things wet. It's like, duh! Like, of
Yeah,
course
like-
that's what it is.
Like, oh.
What else
You've
would the
got a-
spirits be?
You've got a lot to learn, Scald.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, I do.
Speaking of which, walking on Wolf's other side is Beaver.
If I had to guess what Beaver would do, I'd make use what's around you for those cunning plans.
Precisely. Beaver is about mastering the land. Crab teaches us to build around us and keep what's valuable safe. Wolf teaches us to use the land carefully and make certain we understand how things flow together. Beaver is about making it ours, of felling trees to dam the river, of working the land to build a flat place to build on, or a firm foundation. Crab makes the home, Wolf supplies the home, and Beaver makes the village.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
It's all folk phrase I heard once or twice. It takes a village.
Quite. Think about how many people had to keep an eye on you growing up, Kilio.
And she nods.
That usually refers to raising children, if I think right.
Precisely.
I guess that explains why I never heard it when I was young.
You grew up in a village of humans. I doubt even the village could take you.
I grew up in a village of humans with Andre and Ayla.
It didn't take a village, it took your paw.
It took my paw.
Well, Kilio wouldn't say paw, she'd say appa.
Okay, Appa, okay. It didn't take your village, it took your Appa.
I'm going to
Right.
hazard a guess and say he was quite firm with you.
Yeah.
He had to make certain that you always saw him as stronger,
Yeah.
because no one else could discipline you, I'd wager. You were probably as tall as a human in what, your 6th winter?
7th.
My point?
He always had this thing of telling me, like, whenever I'd start talking, like, yeah, you're strong, Pa, but he'd always talk up Granda higher. No, not much, but
You're referring to the Primarch.
yeah.
He was an impressive man, by all accounts. It takes a lot to be a Primarch. You have to win the approval of all the clans, and to a degree, the spirits.
How do you do that?
Well, there's a ritual, as much as I decried them earlier, called walking the Primarch's path. you take a pilgrimage amongst the clans, and each clan will give some form of test to prove your worth, qualities that that clan cherishes. And that way, any Primarch can in turn have the respect of all of the clans, not just their own.
If Garm decried you even though, for example, if Garm decried you even when the others accepted you, you still haven't completed the Primarch's path.
You'd have to learn, grow, be better so you can be recognized by them as well.
Precisely. Because there may come a time that the clans come together and you need them to listen to you. Inatha and Ragulf both walked the path, didn't they, Kilio?
Yes. Yes, they did.
So, about that.
They didn't tell me everything, but it's not something everyone knows.
Did it work differently when new clans were still coming about?
Yes and no. Eric didn't have to walk the path, for example. Neither did I. The path didn't exist at the time. But of a sort, yes. When Torvald decided to make his own clan, Clan Bryn, he already had followers in all of the other clans. They would stop what they were doing and run to see him if he came to visit. They would listen to his teachings, and he would take time to teach them, but they were scattered all over. It was simply more convenient to bring all the craftsmen together under Torvald's tutelage. He got the blessing of the other Primarchs. The kin who would follow him and make Clan Bryn were all given proper ceremony from the clans that they came from. And then Sigurd gave him a horn.
I see.
Horns is probably the hardest part. Good luck getting one of those now.
You're from that time. Don't you know how they were made?
I do. Or rather, I know the answer to the question. I can't do it. And the answer to the question is Old Yorn.
Yorn was the one that knew how to make the horns different, make them special.
And always precisely what the clan needed. Grawl brings kin together.
So their horn can bring the kin together.
Mm-hmm. Roche finds the trail. No one can hide from Roche's hunters. Bryn keeps the forges lit, and so on.
That explains a lot. So, what I need to do is I need to talk to Old Yorn, see if I can earn the secret out of him.
Sigrid
What?
could not earn that secret.
Maybe not me. I know a few craftsmen that might be able to get his attention.
Scald.
Why do you need a new horn?
If the Iron Clan could not win his favor, If the Forge Mistress could not win his favor, what hope have you?
You'll laugh. You'll call me a fool again. It's ambition.
Crow.
I respect them. I do, truly. They are unmatched in all ways. I am nothing in comparison. But I think what I'm aiming for might stand just a little bit higher.
That is quite a boast for someone who grew up among the soft folk.
Right?
You're right, I do think you're a fool.
Next, you'll think me an idiot once I tell you what it is.
Oh, this is the part where you say you're going to go and unite Nash.
Stealing my thoughts now, are we?
I was joking!
You are a fool, Scald.
You're going to get
going-
yourself killed!
I'm going to steal Nash. Right from out underneath Dragon.
You're going to rob the dragon's hoard. You're not a fool, you're an idiot!
I'm going to bring them together. In the name of family. In the name of the redemption. Give those trapped in the ice their day in the sun.
Isn't there a reason some of those are in the ice?
Sure. But if you've had who knows how long within eternity to think, wouldn't you eventually begin ruminating on your mistakes? On what you could have done better? On where it all went wrong?
Or, the only thing keeping you going is spite.
What happens to even those people if one person shows faith?
You are naive.
Aye, absolutely.
If you're not going to listen to a fair warning, so be it. But heed
My
this at
fault.
least. Nash is insidious and not in the way that you think. If you are intent to do this, to throw your life away, think of the consequences and be prepared for attacks that you do not see coming.
Whatever comes to me, I will never face it alone.
Nash does not strike from the front.
Nash strikes from within.
I'll take my journal back. Thank you, though. That was perfect.
You're welcome.
That's exactly what she was about to say. So, Keelio is becoming Jara.
I'm listening.
Yes, you are.
I'll remember that. Sincerely. Just like with the sick beast, I don't think it's fair to simply forget and live on.
Could I trouble you?
Thick beast? What?
Yeah, Jara was about to say something and then realized what you said, and there's a long pause. And she says, "How do you know about that?"
Someone took a bet on me, I think.
Who?
The Feather Keeper. I don't have that confirmed, but I'm pretty sure they decided to take a bet on me.
Jara, fully forgets herself. She says,
The current Feather Keeper.
"Aye, the blood of the secret."
Frymark Naja.
Wolf's teeth.
It didn't
Something-
come across, but I would just say that as well.
Something important is, I haven't said I plan to, or my idea is. I've taken her words to heart. I'm telling you what will happen.
I think Kilio glances at Jara. And then back at Salcom and goes, then speak your mind, stop hesitating.
No.
Hmm?
There's no need to curse you with knowledge, Kilio.
Oh. Huh.
I accepted it
I think
because
that leaves Kilio kind of speechless. She doesn't know what to say to that.
I accepted it because something in me told me I had to. There's no reason for anyone else to be in this boat with me.
May you succeed with the sun set, Scald.
I've already got something of a lead, so
We will speak no more of it in the presence of the Wolfwalker.
aye.
I'm sorry, Kilio, but it's for your own good.
Things are beyond me.
No,
Sometimes
it's not beyond you. No, little sister. It's well within your capabilities. It's simply better that you don't know.
I see.
Some things aren't meant to be remembered.
Sokka makes that face like, there it is again.
If the Featherkeeper took a chance on you, then so be it. But if you fail, know that you do not but prolong the suffering.
I understand.
See that you do.
I understand the stakes quite thoroughly.
Now, if you intend to rob the dragon, may I ask that you help your kin first?
How so?
I don't know why, I don't know how, but you have to be at Bear's Heart with the spear. With a spear, at least.
So, with everything happening there, I'm also going to have to make them put up with my presence.
As I understand it, they won't have a choice. You have some time yet, but you can't die before then.
Trust me. I've got no intentions of letting that happen. Me and my brother are staying firmly in the material.
Jara looks around briefly like, you sure about that?
You get my meaning.
I do. I also understand irony. Now then. Where do your steps turn next, Skald?
We're going to be heading to another settlement. It's a place called Baldur's Gate. We believe there's a spear there. And we plan to get our hands on it. Then two of my brothers will attempt to decipher the magics that it contains.
Did you believe this will be easier than the creeping dark?
We do.
What about that sister city you mentioned?
Baldur's Gate is the sister city.
Then why didn't you just say that earlier?
Because I figured the
You're a
esoteric...
skull.
I figured the esotericness would make more sense to you than mentioning a city you've never heard of.
Do you know of this gate, Killia?
Wait, fuck. I don't know if I do actually. Wait a sec. Was there ever any mention of it?
I mean,
No.
Yeah, it's a major power in the Sword Coast. It depends on how much time you spend in like Hundlestone. Or have you ever been to Neverwinter? If you've been to Neverwinter, you've probably heard of Baldur's Gate.
I think I've been like once or twice to Neverwinter.
Okay,
But
then, yeah,
no.
you've probably heard of it in passing.
I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
Is it far?
From where we are now? Yeah, couple days.
What about from where we are?
Where you are?
And no, the answer is a couple of weeks, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
It's about 2 weeks of relatively hard marching from Nightstone to Baldur's Gate.
Alright. So if that's the case, then it's gotta be way, way longer for them.
Oh yeah, from where they are, which is like east of, but more or less on par with the 10 towns, you're looking at 8 to 10 weeks, so 3 months.
Jeez.
And then, like, if you've got to be there at Bear's Heart, you got 3 weeks down and then 3 months up.
About from where you are, months, if you're lucky. 2, 3, maybe.
And you think
Plus-
that'll be better than the Creeping Dark?
If I'm totally frank with you, that place, it's just not right.
You're absolutely right.
I'd much rather take my chances in a city than in the dark.
And that is where we differ, Scold. I believe I speak for both Kilio and myself when I say I'll take twisting tunnels and dangerous beasts that I know that I can levy my strength against politicians,
Yeah.
nobles, merchants. Give me an
Come
Umber
on.
Hulk any day.
Not all merchants are that bad.
Tell that to Clan Tars.
I have not met anyone from there yet. I really should look into that.
Yes,
more.
you have.
Yeah, you have.
You
He-
met one, and
He
he
came
was
to
an
the
asshole.
Good Night's Rest, and he was a penny-pinching asshole.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, I take that back. I've only met one person from Tars.
That's
You
enough.
know how they are. If you've met one, you've met them all, sorta.
Imagine an entire clan of whatever you met.
Yeah, maybe we don't have to unite all the clan.
Yeah.
maybe we don't have to unite all the. Maybe we can just leave one out.
If you're
No.
gonna do it, don't halfway do the job, Sockham.
Yeah, I know. But he was such a dick. He fought me on the price of my biscuits.
How much were your biscuits?
What are biscuits?
What the fuck did you just say to me?
What?
What?
You don't know what a biscuit is?
I don't know the word.
It's a little disc of bread. You eat it hot with gravies and
You
meat
eat
sauces.
all bread hot. What are you talking about?
It's small. It's round.
Wait. You're telling me you eat bread cold?
Sometimes.
Why?
Why would you do that?
Well, sometimes it's better because then you're not ruining the things you put on it.
It's
What would
always cold.
Have you never? No, I guess you wouldn't. You've never had a bagel with cream cheese.
What's a bagel and what's cream cheese?
Well, I know what cream is, and I know what cheese. All cheese is made from cream. Wait a moment.
Yeah, like that.
I'll have to take you on a culinary venture once all of this is done.
If it involves taking us to a city, we decline.
Oh, don't
Or
worry,
the
I can bring the stuff to you.
Or the south. It will get cold if you move with it.
Well, yeah, I can just make the biscuits there, then they won't be cold. Anyway, it's a gold for a tray.
How many are in a tray?
12?
That's a lot.
Well, we're Goliaths, so...
Right, no,
Wait.
a gold
Were you
piece
telling
for
me
12 pieces of bread.
These were Dernan's recipe of biscuits.
Who is Dernan?
Dwell Watcher.
What?
So,
Do I know who Dernan is?
Yeah, so you say aha, and very quickly Jara says, the hero of 10,000 battles? The
And I'm
immortal
assuming
warrior of the Salt Folk?
I'm assuming I know that one.
Yeah.
Then. Ah. How did you get his recipe? Wait a second.
How do you know him?
He runs the tavern, the Yawning Portal, here in Waterdeep. Over here in Waterdeep.
Wait. He was alive when you were alive, and he's still alive?
Immortal?
Immortal?
No.
That's right.
No, not immortal.
What?
What?
Nearly watched him die of a heart failure just recently.
That must have been someone else.
Trust me, there is no one but one Dernan. Anyway, during most of my time
What
in
does he wear
Waterdeep,
on his hands?
on his hands, what was it, like bracers?
No,
You
he
were
has...
No,
given
no,
it.
he wore a. It was a ring of magic resistance. He loaned it to me for a little while.
Tell me more of this failure.
We called him to the battle of the Yawning Portal. Sorry, no, Goldenfields. Called him to the battle of Goldenfields. He led several mercenaries and battle veterans into war against goblins, hobgoblins, trolls, and ogres and hill giants.
A winter
They were
ago, I
all-
would have told you that hill giants don't gather.
And I'll tell you, they also weren't the brains behind this operation.
Of course not, they're hill giants.
But every single section of them was organized.
You might want to mention the shaman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, also, there was a pair of shamans among them, wielding staffs that contained the souls of devils. That was fun.
Helio,
That's the point.
Hill giants. Yeah? Wait,
My-
turn to look at Jara.
she's not looking at you. My sense of time is a little bit off kilter. Have you ever heard of a hill giant using magic? Or perhaps the word bone waker?
I ever heard of that?
No.
No. I've never heard of such things.
You are certain these were bone wakers?
That
They did raise corpses in another field.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know the term. I just know these were hill giants.
They can rot the flesh.
Yeah. Did that to one of the dragons we called.
You called...
An actual dragon.
Yeah.
Swear it.
You
Silver
called
dragon.
3.
A
You
true
called
silver
3.
Yes. A true silver dragon. He even wore some
Who
armor.
commanded them?
They commanded themselves.
You are certain.
Aye. We asked them to come and aid us, and they did.
No, the Bone Wakers.
Oh, who commanded that? That I am not certain. They seemed smarter than the others, so I'm not sure. Maybe they were the secret brains, or if there was something higher.
Hear me, Skald. If the Queen is awake and has enough power to call on the Bone Wakers, you are in grave danger.
Does the Great Hunger mean anything to you?
Yes, yes it does.
What's the Great Hunger?
The god of the Hill Giants.
Ugh.
The second shaman we ran into had several other hill giants on a chain. They were emaciated.
They moved strangely, limbs flailing. They didn't seem aware of themselves.
Yeah, like their bones were made of string.
What was the word the elf used for the giant's laws?
The ordering.
Yeah, that's
No, wait.
flux.
If I wasn't supposed to say that, I wasn't.
No,
Fuck.
you weren't supposed to say it, but I mean, it is Jara asking you.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Maybe we say it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in flux.
The Queen is moving up. That's very bad. There's a reason the Hill Giants are at the bottom.
From what I saw from those afflicted by he like does the finger marks Great Hunger, as I got told it. Sounds like if they get too high, they'll start consuming everything. More than just food.
And the Bone Wakers can turn everything into food. Dark lightning that strips the flesh and causes great weakness.
Makes healing work in reverse.
Precisely.
Yeah, Silver Dragon got hit with it square on.
That
Nearly
magic has
died.
toppled nations.
He nearly died, but we managed to bring him around.
That all but confirms it, Kilio. Whatever the Frost Giants are doing, this Drufi, these Jarls, that all but confirms. The Ordering is in danger.
Last I heard, it was in consistent flux.
There was. Can I use primeval awareness while in this state?
No.
No.
You're not connected to nature in this state.
Okay.
Why? What are you looking for?
I was going to mention that when I had done it, when the Frost Giants were around, I could tell that there was something affecting them.
Yes.
I can't do it here. Even if I did it here, I wouldn't get the debuff information, like the buff and debuff information about them, because I'm not my favorite terrain. So ignore me asking about using it
Yeah.
here.
Arwell is quickly becoming the least of our concerns.
I think. I don't know what the Jarls are doing, but there's a god of the Fire Giants and a god of the Hill Giants. I don't think there's. Auril wouldn't be the god of the Frost Giants.
No. That would be... Is it Cryonac?
No. Cryonax is... Well, they're the evil prince of the ice plane.
Who's the demon that is a frost giant that gets people pray to him? I thought that was Cryonac.
It might be. I'm not sure. I just know that that's the thing that Auril wanted to command.
Yes.
Thrym? Yeah, that's what I'm finding.
He's a demon prince. He's a demon prince. He takes the form of a frost giant, but you can also be a cleric of him.
I found, what I looked up was God of Frost Giants. I found Thrym was a titan worshipped by the Frost Giants as the giant god of cold and ice. He was also the de facto leader of them.
That's not who I'm thinking of. Because I'm using the demon prince as their god.
Oh god, you're thinking of...
Is that not Cryonac?
No, Cryonax is... He's an elemental.
Okay, who am I? Who is the demon prince that takes the form of a frost giant?
Oh god, you're thinking of the instigator.
Yeah.
Levistus? No,
it's not Levistus.
It's a demon prince, not a duke. Yeah.
Wait.
Demon.
Yeah, I just found it.
Prince Frost Giant.
Copy link.
Kostashe, the
No, Kostashe's a hill giant.
No,
Prince of Wrath was a demon lord and patron of frost giants and rage.
Okay, but yeah, so it's Kostashe that I'm thinking of. So you say like Arl's not the frost god, and Jara just without missing a beat, she goes, "No, that's Kostashe."
Yeah, here's another interpretation that's a lot closer to frost giants.
You putting that in Tails chat, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Kostashe is the answer.
Oh, great. More evil.
I could only sense things about Oral about them, but nothing about this god of Frostra.
Kostashe's dead.
Oh.
You have to think about how accepting gods and gods that accept others can...
So you can kill a god?
Well, technically.
Technically.
You can kill their form, their influence. But from what little I know, the spark of divinity is infinite. You can only kill a god by taking from them and taking into yourself their spark of divinity.
Kostashe is dead for all intents and purposes. He is, I need your help, Skald.
Yeah?
Kostashe is not here. He is far from here. He is enchained in the land of fire and torment.
The Nine Hells.
I suppose. He was beaten by Baal?
Baal? Is that what she said?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a name Salcom would know, is it?
Make a religion check. You should.
I mean, I know what my mod is. I guess I could roll. I don't think I'm gonna know.
I don't think would know. Wow. Is that standing?
I don't have inspiration or anything. So.
Okay. Does Keely have it?
Does
Keely have
inspiration on the other roll 20?
Um.
do I want to use my inspiration to give to Salcom?
Salcom cannot possibly roll worse than what he rolled.
Yeah. Well, I can, but the chances of that, I can, but the chances of that are truly.
If you rolled a nat 1, the chance of you getting a Insidious after that is like 1 in 400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to see if I have an inspiration on this other game.
I mean, I'll let you go to -1 if you don't. Come on, Valerian. You want it or not?
It's loading. Yeah, fuck it. Go ahead. I'll go to -1.
Alright, roll it. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So it's not Baal. Baal is another. It's a bastardization of the infernal fire, and it's referred to as balefire. But the reason for that is because the Admiral of Hell's Side in the Blood War, the big mamma jamma demon fighter, is Duke Bell.
Oh. No, that's a misnomer. It was that you're thinking of like Hellfire, Balefire. No, it was Duke Bell.
The god of the Frost Giants is beaten by a bell?
And no, his name was Bell. Probably because he rings people's head like one.
No, his name is Koshiji.
What? No, the god of the Frost Giants was beaten by...
A bell?
Yeah, Duke Bell. Duke Bell is not a bell, that's just his name. Demons have weird names.
The point is he beat Koshiji and imprisoned him in his home, wherever that is.
So long as the Frost Giants don't find a way to get him out, we should be okay.
Unless they turn to Auril.
If they turn to Auril, that means they can get a whole litany of new abilities.
Auril is technically a giant, which means she would be affected by the Ordinary.
Aural's a giant?
Technically, yes.
I mean, my party people awareness will work on Auril.
Yeah, if you get close enough to her.
Yeah. All of my, like, buffs against giants will help.
Yes.
That's cool.
Auril is called the Queen of the Frost Giants.
She literally has a form that was called that.
Oh, so she just kind of took his place. Sucks to be him.
We don't know that.
She is called the Snow Hag, the Queen of the Frost Giants, the Eternal Beauty. There's no confirming any three of these.
The only thing that you have seen is big lady standing on the back of an owl and singing.
This is true.
And when she sings, things get colder.
Yep.
I mean... if they've turned to Auril, then we already know who we're fighting.
Wait, that's a point actually, like pointing at Gilio, turns to Salcom. How do you kill a god? First of all, what makes a god?
What makes a god is generally possessing a spark of divinity, the ability to represent a facet of reality or society.
How do we kill it?
Well, on record, there's a couple of ways, but like I said, the only real way is to consume their divinity, consume their spark, and change the representation.
How do we send Auril away?
Break her body.
That's it?
Well, it's not going to be that simple. You'll need something that can start the process, kind of like the spear for the Draconians.
What starts the process?
That is unfortunately not something I've read about.
You sure about that?
Do you want to roll for that information, man?
Mr. I spent 2 weeks in Rashaw's shop.
If I can roll for that, I'll roll for that.
Make a history check.
Us in the bomb game appreciate you, Salt.
No.
Can I go to? I'm gonna say this jokingly. Can I go to -2?
You cannot go to -2.
Can I go to -1?
Sure. So,
I love, for the record, I love the sigh. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't love that sigh, I mean, come on. That's the best part of the show.
Do you have guidance? Guidance is a reaction now.
No, he used it.
I'm talking about that sigh Kit does.
So, Gamsey,
Like music. Yeah.
I'm gonna lead you down a very specific path,
Fun.
and you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about, but I need you to not say the name.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
We love when the MC has to not say something.
There is a substance. It is metal, sort of. It's carved from dark oaths and shadows. It's these like shadowy black spikes, and they are used to pierce divinity.
For once, I don't actually know where. What I haven't. I don't know what door to open here.
They're often referred to as black knives.
Aha. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's not the name you can't say. It's the other name that you can't say.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
And most of them were destroyed, but it is possible to find god-killing black knives. They exist. And the most common place to find them is Menzoberranzan.
Another motherfucking elf city.
Yep.
God.
Isn't that Dark Elf City?
Yes, it is.
These elves. I mean, I know how what I'm about to say is gonna sound. I know the regional section that this hits.
If you're gonna say motherfucking elves have everything, you're right. But what am I gonna do with an ancient race that all they do is make magic shit? I mean, come on.
No. What I'm gonna say is these motherfucking elves just love testing divinity, don't they? God damn.
Yes, they do. Like, Corellian made the elves to test his divinity. That's the point.
Fucking A, Corellian.
And then Corellian promptly saw Grumsh and said, I'm taking that eye.
To be fair, Grumsh pissed on his wife.
I think, God damn it.
And
don't,
then,
don't, don't,
Corellian made a call out to us on Twitter.
no. Ah. Oh God, they're reciting the old magics.
The fact that I said it with a straight face and it took Gamsey a minute.
Oh my God.
God, someone save me. They're reciting the old magic.
The worst part of this is we're comparing Corellian to Eggman.
I mean, he basically is.
Eggman made.
Okay. Corellian and Eggman both take small forest creatures and use them to power weapons of mass destruction. So yes,
Eggman. Think about this. Think about this. Eggman made Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes.
What does Shadow the Hedgehog do at every opportunity he gets?
Piss on Eggman.
Ruin something for Eggman.
Yes.
Oh.
So anyway.
Yeah, she says that, and Salcom goes to say something, stops, and then cups his hand over his forehead and drags it downwards across his face.
You know something we don't?
Oh, this bitch is gonna send me into the dark.
What?
There are...
I know that Jar is the personification of wolf, but you don't have to use that kind of language.
There are these things. They're knives.
I mean, knife is generous. They're not really quantifiable in what they are.
You can call them a knife. You can call them a small sword. Not a short sword, a small sword. But they're not really either.
They're words made manifest.
They're... Imagine all the dark things you've said through your life. The evils you've spoke of. The terrors that have loomed in your mind. These weapons are those manifest from everyone. They have the power to breach divinity and make them harmable by mortal hands.
We'll trade you. You get one of those and we'll give you the spear.
You really do want me to die before I can try and rob Dragon.
No, I want you to succeed in this before Dragon kills you.
The only place you can get one is Menzo Baran's.
No, that's the most common place to get one.
Considering how reliable books tend to be with stuff this old?
Yeah, fair. And it's Menzo Baranzan.
Sorry, Menzo Baranzan.
Menzo what?
You know those drow I was telling you about?
Yeah?
Yeah, Menzo Baranzan is like their capital.
Good luck.
Which we can't get to.
They're...
The cage goes into the Underdark.
Which, if Lolth is the patron saint of the drow, that means that's her city.
So?
So I'm walking into another... basically another war. Which I'm not super eager to do, because
Are you not strong enough to unite the clans?
I can get you the knife. Maybe, if there's one there.
It's a lead that we don't have. Who knows, maybe it'll work on the dragons.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Ugh. Alright.
If it can pierce divinity, maybe it can cut through the cage.
More than likely, if it's Arl's work. But there's still the matter of this will just... She could just come back at some point. Don't you think you should plan for that?
Well, certainly. But we will plan for that after she's gone. She's a credible threat now.
My point is, you won't have a lot of time to plan. Once you break her body, all that's left will be her spark, her divinity. Once that leaves the plane, she's left to recuperate.
How long did it take since the last time?
Several hundred years.
There may not be people as strong as you the next time she comes back. There may not be any knives left.
As if this settles the matter, Jara says, "Then we give the shards of the knife if it breaks to the elf, and have him prepare."
You have an elf with you, right? You said his name was Irithir?
Yes.
Mockingly, entirely mockingly. I don't remember his fucking title. Kilia's gonna...
High Diviner Irithir Galastasia.
Yeah. There was more to it, but yeah,
Of course
I'll just do that
there's
for
more
now.
to it, but...
It was...
Mockingly, High Diviner Irithir Galastasia.
Yeah.
Can you believe he insisted we use his entire title?
That wasn't his entire title.
No, you're probably forgetting the name, his station within the city beyond High Diviner, and as well as his
I'm intentionally
house's
leaving
name.
it out.
His
'Cause
house's
it's not
name
important.
and his city.
He's renounced all of it last I checked.
The point is, we give him the knife, and he prepares for when Arl comes back.
I say you have him start preparing to contain a divine spark. It'll be more efficient.
So you're not getting the knife.
I'll still get you the knife. It's the only way you're gonna breach the shell of divinity.
Precisely.
Once you break her body, I say you have something ready to snag her spark.
We'll look into it.
Rumor says orcs don't have souls. Maybe maybe you can make a contender against Grumsh. Oh.
Maybe. You just focus on getting the knife for now.
Yeah. I'll go down below. If we find the spear, cool. But I'll make my main goal, well, my secondary goal, that knife.
Remember, beware the fairy light.
Right. Beware the fairy lights, get Ghost Flame, and try to get my hands on
Jara said ghost
Silver
light.
Tears. Ghost Light. Ghost Light, sorry.
Silver tears of spiders.
Silver Tears of Spiders and Ghost Light.
She nods.
Avoid the fairy lights. If I'm lucky, maybe I'll find this place easily.
Right.
Easy doesn't make a legend.
No, easy doesn't make a legend. But you know, I really don't.
You don't want surviving the creeping dark part of your legend.
I don't know if I want to think about it. The brief time I was down there was almost enough for a lifetime. And I didn't even have to touch the ground. I was flying.
Or you, whatever. Sorry, go ahead.
You have several goals down there.
Yeah, get my brother the Hat of Kang.
Doesn't Lash speak of Kang?
She does.
Who is Kang?
Wait. Wait. Lash was looking for a helm down there.
Oh, cool, it's a race.
Jara grins at you.
Sockham's already got that look.
Very well. You get the knife, we'll bring the spear, and we'll meet you at wherever the helm is. She grins again.
Sounds good to me. One more thing.
One more thing, yes?
Keelio, don't spread this far yet.
What?
But remember how I mentioned my brother, Bruce? How I mentioned he's an orc?
Yeah.
We never knew. I mean, we knew, but we thought he was a half-orc. Thing about it is, he's never heard Grumsh up until recently. Whispers, at most, is what it's been recently, until he intersected a divine magic item he had.
Divine. Everything. What's with these gods and fucking with shit?
I
They're
don't know.
gods. That's what they
my
do.
My point is,
Gods are unimpressive.
don't.
Agreed. Go on.
Yeah. Like I said, don't spread this far, but supposedly we've got a way to keep Grumsh's voice out of orcs' heads.
I mean, flatly, Kilio, from what you've seen, Lash doesn't need it.
I was literally thinking that. Lash's resolve keeps Grumsh out.
Yeah, I've heard the orcs of the north are built different.
I'm sorry, just the way you said that.
I don't know.
They live near the ocean, so they're built fjord tough.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Ken, that was good. Oh,
I'm just
Sorry.
saying this because maybe this can bring hope to some people, you know? If you meet others that are less sure of themselves than your friend Lash.
Get the knife
Maybe.
and you can see her for yourself.
Yeah,
We'll see
Yeah.
where the tree grows, Soul Forger.
right.
and
The
whatever
mist-
you do,
Oh, good.
that your brother with the black markings,
Rockham.
don't let him die. I want to see if I can beat him.
Oh, don't worry. If I die, he comes with me.
Then don't die.
Yeah, I don't plan to.
die. I'd
If
like
I
to see
die,
if I
he
can
comes
beat
with
you.
me. If he dies, I go with it. Whatever. I understand.
I'd
You
like to
wanna
see if I can beat him before where Zara couldn't.
You want to avenge Jara?
Jara just thumps you on the head.
You want to avenge Jara's loss at the Great Hunt and
No,
lose
I want to
just as
prove that I can
badly.
do it.
You
I
wanna-
was drunk.
I'm just hearing you
I'll be
want to
drunk
lose.
too.
You want to lose just as badly, but this time sober, which just means you'll have less excuses why you lost.
No, I'm gonna do it drunk too.
So I think you say that, and Jara just growls, and you don't see the mist creeping up around your feet, Sokka, and she just shoves you, and you fall away from the bowl. And I think that's the last shot of our extra.
Zokum put out a call-out post, and Jara was not okay with it.
No, she wasn't. So, hooray! We have a lot of information transfer between the games. As I said, this video will go up in both playlists, so it'll be ready to go for you guys to catch up on the story. And now we have the point where the timelines converge, so there should be some interesting happenings up until this point. And it seems like the Knightlights have a direction now, which is fun. You two want to do some shoutouts real quick?
Sure. Gamza, you first.
Indeed.
Oh, excuse
Nice,
me.
good one.
Bravo.
Blueberry donuts and sesame
Spoken
chicken.
like Tor.
Hi. You know me. You love me. I'm Guy Gamzelis, the Bard of Heroes, teller of tales that need to be told. If ever you need me, you can find me on the Discord or in DMs. And you asked me not to shill specifically to YouTube anymore because we don't know a lot where this stuff is going. So
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. I guess that's it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Valerian.
Hello, I am Valerian the Kitsune. I do admin stuff things around here. Tonight I played Kilio Wolfwalker, which is the character I play in the Vom playlist. If you want to see what I play in the Tales playlist, make sure you watch the other episodes where I play Percival Averil. In addition, try to check out the Patreon show, How to Pay, which will
If we
also
can
be
ever
in the
get
archive.
it together.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Ugh, so frustrating. Anyway, hope you had fun tonight.
I sure did.
For my part, as ever, I am the sharp-eyed Kitsune, the teller of tales and the weaver of mysteries, the masked bard. This is the channel that is ever devoted to lore and storytelling, world-building, role-playing, and discussions of those things, so if that's to your fancy, you're in excellent company here, and I do hope that you enjoy your time with us. This has been an extra for both Tales of the Knightlights and Voices of the Mountain, letting our characters meet and share ideas, and a point of the story that was convenient for both of them to do that. If you want to watch the main shows, we've got Tales of the Knightlights on Sunday nights, hopefully switching to a live format soon, and Voices of the Mountain on Thursday nights in much the same regard. If it's not live, you'll find the uploads either that evening or the next day, be it Monday or Friday, respectively, depending on the show that you want to watch. You can find all the playlists over on our YouTube, and definitely come and check out our Patreon as well as our Discord. discord.gg/themasquerade or patreon.com/themasquerade in both cases. We'd love to have you don a mask and join the party. For now, though, as ever, it's time to close the book on today and leave you with these parting words. From myself, my keepers, and those joining me on the stage this evening, to each and every one of you, the regulars, the followers, the newcomers, and the lurkers, whether you're just having a seat by the fire or you've got a running tab at the bar, remember there's always more stories to tell, and hopefully I'll see you all next time as we heed the voices of the mountain or see what's happening with Tales of the Knightlites and a new chapter. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hope to see you again very soon.